Would you like me to send you this free guide to capturing motion in low light situations? Well, if you said yes, just look for this orange box over on my website, put your name, email address in it, hit send it, and I will send you that guide for free. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is going to be another one of those videos where I show you the things and tell you the things that most professional photographers just will not do. And in this case, well, it's going to be a long video because I'm going to cull through 1,020 images. Now, the 1,020 images were taken when we had a mural done at the factory downstairs. This awesome mural that you see on the screen right now is fantastic. Go follow Gloss Black. He is amazing, and from concept to execution, and he was here to paint the mural, and we use that here, Stephen and I, as an opportunity to test out a bunch of different lenses. That's why I have a lot of pictures. Is I shot with the Sony A1, and I went through a ton of different lenses that we're going to end up using a lot of the photos for different reviews. Now, this is going to be a long video because I'm going to show you. I haven't gone through I looked at 2 images and I edited those, but I haven't gone through the rest. So I'm going to try and show you, or I am going to show you how I go through my images, the process that I do to cull them down to the ones that I'm going to edit. Because I don't edit every picture, I edit the ones that I think are worthy of being edited, and then after they're edited, I will pick the best of the best with honors, sir. Now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this editing in this video or not, but the reason I'm showing you this is so that you see how long it actually takes me to do this, so you understand that you're not alone if it takes you a while to cull your images, or you're not alone if you got a bad photo, because I'm sure I didn't get all perfect photos in here. But that's not what it's all about. It's about showing you the process to get to the best of the best with honors, sir. And starting right here, that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I do once I bring them into Lightroom is I select all of them, I hit Function F2, and I want to rename them. Now, this is just so that I don't have the same file names over and over and over. So I go here and I go to edit, and I like to have, so I do date, month, year. So it was 2021-03, and it was 30 underscore, then I name what it was. Let's just call it Gloss Black Mural underscore. But you see how it says 001? That's if you have 100, up to 999 photos. In this case, I've got 1,000. So I'm changing it to 1,000, 4 zeros or four characters, and I hit OK, and it goes through, and you can see that it's renaming them. It should be fairly quick. I mean, it's got a lot to do, but we're gonna go from DCS 01952 to the date. The reason I do the date, so I do the date so I can easily find it. 2021-03 for March, 30 for the day, underscore, what it was, underscore, and that's it. And it's wrapping up now. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna start showing you how I cull the images. I don't go through and do this in the develop module, I do this in the library. There you go. That's all of your names, and we're natively opening the files here in Lightroom because you can now officially do that. Now, I may not talk a lot through this because I wanna get through culling, and I just sit here and I go through and I look for what are the best images. I may talk a little bit about the technical stuff in a minute, but I'm trying to tell, as you know, I like to tell the best photo story possible. That's the wides, the mediums, the tights, and the details, and that's what I try to run through here. And now I'm trying to pick the best images that tell the whole story. I certainly hope I have an image of the place being empty, because I can't go back and do that. But I do kind of like, this is me like pandering, I do like that they're in it. I don't need him pointing. So I didn't pick any of those, but I do want to go back and pick one of those because I probably should have gotten it empty with not them in it, but I'm looking for a good one that I could use. And I don't know if I want to, maybe I'll just use it with him pointing and he's showing something. So I star it as a number 5. Some people will just put it as a star, and then, so I do number 5, I do 5 stars. It's just what I do. Some people would hit 1 star. And then if it's like really, really good and it's my favorite, I'll hit the star and I'll hit 6 to red it. And red to me means that it's like a keeper and one of the best that I'm definitely gonna go through and edit. I kind of like the wider one better, to be honest, because I'm also thinking about how I'm going to make a photo book for him, because I always make photo books. I actually like the wider, so I'm going to undo that one, and I just like the wider. And what I do this with the 12 to 24, it's definitely focused on the wall, but nobody would ever know that again. That 12 to 24 back focuses like an MF, man. So I'm thinking about the best story. So here they are laying down the tarp. So Gloss Black is back here. He's the main guy, and this guy was helping him out. So I kind of like trying to find the right angle, the straightest. I don't like that one as much. I kind of like that. But sometimes you don't even pick the best ones. I mean, you just pick a bunch and then you can go through later. It's always good not to do well, I like to edit the day of the shoot and then the morning after, I like to go through. But a lot of this is a lot of people's butts, and that's not always great. But I like this of him laying this by himself. You're getting some details. So that's nice and sharp. I didn't pick it yet. But you see, I'm using this knife, trying to line the knife up where I want it. I mean, it's not like the greatest photo ever, but I totally pick it. Yeah, he's definitely in focus. I kind of like that because it shows his ring, and I can go back and edit those other ones. Like I don't need them. Like so now I'm trying to get a picture with, something in front, and I really wish I wish I did a faster shutter speed. This is 1/80th of a second, but it's because I jumped in there really quick, and he's not really moving, so it doesn't matter. But there he's moving a little bit. Man, I didn't like any of those. But I kind of want, I mean, these aren't, I wouldn't put these in the book as like a 2-page spread. I kind of like this one though. You have some hand movement, which is neither here nor there. He's frozen. And this is the process I go through. I just go back and forth between the images. And actually, I don't hate this one because he's right there in the middle. We have our lights back here. Steven and I, well, we wanted to light up the whole room, so it was just better for taking pictures and for the video time lapse. Oh, I threw on the 24 2.8. So this is where I'm going through those, we'll call them inexpensive Sony lenses. So I haven't even looked to see if they're any good yet. My lines aren't very straight for this. Oh, that's back with the 12. This one is straight, but I wouldn't print this. And look at the bowing, man. Look at the bowing of the lens at 24. I don't hate this because of the 1 hour photo. It kind of makes for a nice 2-page spread. 12 to 24. Oh, wait. No, I wasn't on. I was, oh, Jared. No, it is the 24 2.8. That's right. So I did switch off. Kind of like that, but I wish my lines were a little better. This one's a little better. It's still not good because a lot, see, I like this because we got multiple dimensions in it. So do I like this one where he's setting up the ladder? I do, but I also like it where you can read the low, gloss black on his shirt. So I'm gonna pick them both and I'll go through the rest later to decide. This is me trying to use something out of focus, this area, to draw me into him. This is with the 12 to 24 again, but I'm gonna pick it because it's worthy of it. And this is me trying to get his spray cans, all the different colors. I was literally leaning over trying to get the shot, because you got to remember to get the details. Oh, and that's what's cool over here is actually the layout of what he was going to try and do on the wall, the design. So I didn't even notice that. This is just a little tighter of the bag. See, I didn't want to cut everything off straight. I actually like them both on here. What's my exposure? 1/200th and then 1/60th. Right, I brought it back down. It was a little much, and then I bring it down. So I kind of like this one because I like the way that or this one. So I pick them both and then I'll go through later. But I don't edit yet unless it's something really awesome. See, I like this. Yeah, in focus, good. And back here you can see this is one of our R5s doing an 8K time lapse. I like this because the 2-page spread would go right down the middle, right here. So I like that. Because, oh shit, do I like that one better? Well, guess what? I'll figure that out later. Because the whole idea here is I want to pick the best of the best to cull down to, and I also want to think about the photo book that I will make at Printique. Kind of like that. Well, yeah, so I'm going for the pointing. You always hear when like a president is speaking or a politician and they make a movement that people take pictures at that point. So here I wanted to get him pouring the paint. I also had the camera set to low, so I wasn't taking that many photos in a row, and I think I needed to speed it up, but that's okay, because then I would have had the paint. But I don't think, all right, I got the paint there, so that's worthy of it, because there was drip. I like that angle, but I don't have the focus there. Here we got the roller going, we got Steven in the background. So what he's doing, he's setting up a projector to project onto the wall. Wow, I use the 12 to 24 a lot. Here we go. I like when you can get super close with the 12 to 24. Oh, sharp, there we go. Very difficult with the masks on for any camera, but at least we got it there. So we can see some of the stuff on the computer on that one, but I like that up and close. Yes. Kind of like seeing the computer. Well, you don't really need to see the computer as much. I don't like that he's standing, but I love this because we can see the projection on the wall. I'm now at 6400 ISO. Actually, I like this too because of the peak of the color coming from the laptop. So I may pick a bunch of these to decide later. Why is it so much brighter? Oh, I think we turned on some of the house lights. I actually like it without the house lights, but we needed that for the video. I like that because his eyes are looking up. Try to find that angle from the back. I do love this. Still can't tell where it's focused, to be honest with you. But I love that angle. That's going to be really good. Right? It's actually right down the middle. You can see if I go into develop and I show you this, you're going to see it's literally right down the middle. Just look at this arrow right here that lines up. I'm very good at getting these lines straight. Just people right down the middle. Now that may wreak havoc when it comes to doing the gutter of the book, but that's okay. I went from 6,000 to 4,000 ISO there. I like that. Then I kind of like the shadow on the wall, but I don't think that's that good of a picture. I kind of like him looking here too, just thinking about what he's gonna do. And then I wanted to get one from the front, but it's really not that interesting. Here's the other camera doing another, this one did a 4K time lapse. I'm gonna pick it anyway. It could be a black and white. Here, I'll show you how I edit it. What's that say, I love road? Yeah, look at that, I love road. No, it's not gonna be a black and white, Jared. Nah, it's boring. I'll edit it later. But yeah, I mean, this is what goes through my head when I'm doing this. Let me jump in here real quick to give you a respite from this video. I know it's long, but I think it's really solid information because I want to show you FroPack 3 in action on this photo. Now, this is my edit for the photo, but I do want to show you FroPack 3 in action. I'm going to go through 8 different presets of the 15, starting with Almost Famous. So that's Almost Famous. Then we go to Canadian Tuxedo. You can see there's a lot of different options here, followed by Capone. It all is about whatever your taste is. Then we've got King Contrast, which looks really solid right off the bat, followed by Mount Airy. Mount Airy looks light and airy. We've got November Rain. November Rain looks good. Then we've got Prestige Worldwide, which I was surprised. Look at that. It's a great edit. And we've got expired tags from Winnebago expired tags. That's one of those interesting looking ones because you never know what you're going to pick. But that's 8 different presets of 15 from FroPack 3. And the reason I'm showing it to you is if you're looking to speed up your raw workflow or give yourself a great starting point, we created 15 all new custom Lightroom presets that you can check out at FroKnowsPhoto.com/FroPack3. While you're over there, you can play with the sliders to see the befores and the afters. And if you decide to pick them up right now, they are currently on sale, or you can save even more when you bundle FroPack 1, 2, and 3 together and get the triple play. So now let's get back to the culling video. So I just hope I didn't get stuck using that one lens too much, the 12-24, but I think it's important this. I wanted to get up close, so I came in close. These actually play a part. These are the caps to the spray. The spray, they give you different spray widths and stuff, but I wanted to show you on the computer, but I wanted them out of focus, even at 19 millimeters at 2.8. I like that, I like that, I like that, because they're extra out. But I'll end up picking one. But my goal here when I'm shooting this, you see I'm keeping the computer in the frame. That's what I'm trying to do. I didn't want to lose it in the frame or out of the side of the frame. Now neither of them are there. Oh, some of these are better. Just because they're straighter. I just don't, again, hope I didn't go too far. See, I like this. I like the juxtaposition of the two ladders. Then I got up on the stairs to get this angle. Obviously, there's the stairs. Trying to get details, but that's not very good. Here, he's lining the Kodak. Jared, you can never switch to another lens or anything? These lines that you see are from the projector. That's projection lines. That's not from the camera. So now I've got on there the 24-28G. Oh, neat. You get to see the line being painted. I'll do that one because I like his shadow there. Oh, color change. And the correction that you're seeing, it must be automatic where the lens correction is being made automatically. And that's the processing that you see happening. Sometimes Lightroom does that these days. I like, see, what is it doing? Is it automatically putting on lens correction? Enable profile correction. Oh, it may not even, you know what? It may not even have these lenses in the system yet because we got them before they came out. So that could be that too. But I like this photo. No, but. See, you're gonna get a lot of, yeah, see, it's gonna be very difficult to get a lot of faces in this one because they're facing the wall the whole time. Do I have any spray coming out of the can? I don't think so on that one. Yeah, I can see it in that one, but I don't think it's sharp in that. It's hard to tell, and by hard to tell, I mean we're zooming in 50 megapixels. I think it's close enough where it would be fine printed without a problem. I don't think that's strong. Oh, but again, I'm testing. Now I got the 42.8 on there. Sorry, 42.5. And when I get close to look at the computer, that's because I'm looking for focus. So now he's doing the Fuji part of it. So that's get the Fuji in there and then use him in the background to paint the Fuji. Yeah, I like those first ones better. I like that. So back to the 12-24 because I wanted to get close. More details. Yeah, the remote, don't need the remote really. Now we got the 50, 2.5. So like I said, it's me trying to do lens reviews at the same time, so getting enough pictures so that we can do that. But it's also a lot of backs. See, you may be sitting there going, Jared, like, why so many of the same picture? Well, it's not really that, but you're trying to anticipate something happening. And you know, at the end of the day, I'll probably have 100 and some keepers, and then I'll cull that down to like 30, maybe, or 40 that tell the best story. And this isn't something that people show you, and by people I mean photographers. They don't show you their process of how many pictures they took. Because you don't want to be seen like, oh, you're just wasting pictures or you took bad pictures. Yet you don't set out to take bad pictures. You set out to capture great pictures, but in order to get there, you have to take other pictures. You can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to shoot this until the best picture presents itself, because then you're actually going to miss stuff. And so you're taking photos. You're doing like, bloop, you know, and by bloop, I mean like a quick burst of 2 or 3 if he's doing something. And so this is just, you're trying to find the story. So on this side, we got that. Then we got him on this side, so I'm going to pick that one as well. Now I also wanted to get Steven in there so you could see the factory at work. The 4000 ISO looks fine. 1/80th of a second is generally a little slower than I like to shoot, especially if I'm going to try and get motion. I'll get this for Steven so you can see him working. Now they're trying to decide what's next. Anytime the pointing's happening, I'm going to take a photo. I know by the end the photo story will be great. It's just that when you go through here, it's like, I wish I did that, or I wish I did this. My one concern coming back out of the shoot was, did I take too many pictures with the 12 to 24 and not enough? Like, I didn't break out a 24 to 70 because I had a 24 and a 40. I had the 135. I mean, I had every lens. I had a 51.2. I kind of like the look of this. I kind of like the way that his legs are. And I liked how the 800's like nice and bright. So we still have the 12 to 24. So just going through here, picking what I want. Details. I'll put it in, but I don't know, maybe I'll put it in the book, I don't know. Oh, I'm testing out, okay, now I got the 35-1-2 on there, and then I switch back to this, because he was gonna do some hand lines. But I also knew that I wanted to get some macros of this, and now I got the 24-2.8 on. I'm just gonna throw one of these in there because I think it just shows you got all the paint splatter. I just picked one. I like this. I mean, I like what's going on, but this is where I wanted to get the macro. Where I got the 51.2. I actually don't have a macro. Oh, I do. I have the 105 Sigma macro that I have. I forgot I had that upstairs. I could have used it. So I'm looking for focus on the tip of the brush. What am I at? 1/250th? So a lot of this is like he's moving. I'm not telling him not to move, so you got to get the focus. You got to get that one's in. You can see the gloss right there. So I got that. But this is where the macro lens would have come in handy. But would it even have been that cool of a photo if I was much tighter? I don't know. Oh, some of these you got to give a chance to load. So I'll go with that. Okay. Yes, it gets repetitive, but you're looking for that one shot that stands out. I think this may be a good one. Now we got the 51.2 on there. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. So now I'm shooting through this ladder because I want to try and get it some interest. But we know it's not going to be focused on his eye because it's going to be focused over here because it's a profile shot, but I'm going to keep it anyway. That I kind of like better than the other one. So it's more like a snap. This is very snapshotty because there's not like there's a lot of light or anything, and there's no really cool backgrounds. But see, that's why I wanted to use this more as the background. This is back to the 42.5. I think this one is straighter. Yeah, I'm missing focus there. Clearly, it's hitting the arm. I'm pretty sure I switched back to what I needed to switch back to. Whoop, that's back focus. That doesn't happen terribly too often with this, but I'm just trying this lens out. We focused on the ear, not the eye. Ear, not the eye. Ear, not the eye. Closer to the, that's actually closer to the eye. And you got some spray coming out of the can. That one's fine, so I don't need to worry about the other ones. I like that one. Yep, that one's good. I can see it sharp. So I want the spray coming out. See, there's spray out of the can, there's spray out of the can. And I don't see it there. But I like that angle. Then I try to get some movement. That's nice and sharp. I'm just gonna throw this in there. That could be a black and white that works. Now they're trying to figure out what to do with this wall. Sharp. I'm not sure, it's just applying lens correction automatically. You saw that bowing, right? Automatically correcting, and I'm not sure why. See, it just did it again. Nice and sharp, woo! Even with that 24.2.8. I think I may like this one better with the movement of the, away from the edge, but either one of those is gonna be pretty good. So a bunch of the pictures are just to really test out those lenses. Okay, so here's what I did. I didn't like the background here because it's just outside, it's the other side of the factory, but when I go this way, I can get more of the mural in there. Not that those are good photos, and see how I blocked his head? I'm like, oh, there's some of the light sticking out, but here I used the light to block, I used his head to block the light. But here we got some movement, it's handing him something, so that's good. I could get at a lower angle and use his head to block the light. I guess I didn't. I'll decide on which ones I like better later. Well, I actually like this with the tape measure. That's super sharp. Up, but his eyes, see his eyes? We don't want that because of the way, what's happening. But on the next shot, let me see. We can get away with that. Ooh, yeah. We got some spray going on, some white spray. We don't have much of the face, but I think that's good. There's some with the eyes. Profile. Well, let me go ahead and add that one. Usually go through faster than just because I'm talking here. God, that lens is working. I couldn't tell you that this wasn't done with a more expensive lens. So that's what matters. So I like this because of his eyes, the focus there, and by focus, I mean his focus on the wall. Here he's got tape measurer. So I like the tape measure. Now I'm just looking for the best angle here. That's good. Now I'm up on the stairs, so that shows you how high up. So I like that because we're high. So high. Back to the 14 to 24. Go wider, Jared. Why aren't you wider? There, I did wider. So that's one wide. I see, again, it's a lot of their backs. No, that's a terrible photo, Jared. But a lot of this is also showing the progression. So he's getting the lines going. He's thinking, so I like this. Look, this is all happening in one like 20 by 20 square, so there's not a lot to get. I should have brought down the macro lens. I didn't do that, so something I missed. I realized that you don't want to just take a picture of their back the whole time. That's why later on you're going to start to see some where I found a place that I could get in front of them a little bit. Another thing is when Steven was trying to get some video, a lot of the paint debris or residue could fall down onto the lens. He wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. Just things to keep in mind. So I'm going back to see that one, kind of like this because they're both up there working. And when editing, Steven got in on this one, but when editing and culling, you can sync your images with the edits if they're close. So I like this because he's looking at this. This is what the final product's supposed to look like. And you got both of them working hard in here. And I'll decide later whether I like him leaning in closer or not. And so after a while, you get bored of shooting the same thing. So now I'm using the ladder, and it's in focus there, so that's good. And just looking for that proper angle, right? So you got to get down here. Are you going to be in focus? That's not going to be in focus. No, it's focused right here on the ladder. It's not what I wanted. Yeah, like I said, not every shot is going to be in focus. But you don't show those generally. You show the best of the best with honors, sir. Load. Nah. I like that one much better. I mean, it's focused on his ear, not so much his eye, but we're gonna go with it. See, I just don't like this. I don't have the paint can, so I don't have the context in there. But if I go like this, so much better, right? Yeah, much better. I like, what did I change? 1/320th? All right, I opened up my, I let in a little bit more light. I slowed the shutter down just a little bit. I don't think that eye's gonna be in focus. It's definitely on that ear. Definitely more difficult situation. And it's not, it's probably hitting the respirator. Any of these wanna be close to? Come on, there's more eye there. Eh. That one's better. I can see it already. Slightly better. And remember, when you zoom in 1:1, you are zooming in a long way, but it should be sharp. No excuses. If you hit it, you hit it. I will say, you've got a hat, you've got a respirator. It's not exactly easy for the camera to nail that. That color looks good. You're not gonna get the eye, there's no way. It's definitely hitting the ear again. So that's with the 52.5. You're seeing me repeat stuff in different similar images, and the reason you're seeing that is because I'm getting test images for you guys, for doing reviews of lenses. And in order to do that, I have to shoot kind of the same thing. Composition is fine, maybe bring it down just a little bit would have been better, but I do like that we've got paint coming out of the can. They're all very similar. Try the vertical. See, that's a better composition. I think that one's in enough. Still on the ear. Not gonna shy away and tell you that it's not on the ear, but it definitely was on the ear. Now we got Steven in there working. I like this because we got a lot of the details. I'm stepping back to probably get the Fuji in there. Do I do it? Do you do it, Jared? Oh, I had to get Steven out of my photo because maybe I don't want Steven in my book. Well, in this photo. I would have been cool if I had him stepping down. Like I said, I wasn't shooting in full-on rapid fire mode, which is fine. But I like this with just him in the corner too. That's super sweet. And there, I did get the Fuji in. See that? So that's another thing that I noticed when going through. When I'm shooting, I'm like, oh, I don't have the Fuji in there. Let me take a step back and get the Fuji in there. And that's exactly what I did there. Are you tired of posting your photos online and the only feedback you get from your friends and family is that these are great, this is awesome, thumbs up, fire emoji? Well, if you're looking for some real feedback from a professional photographer, I am offering 2 different types of critiques. One is a one-on-one 45-minute live mentorship call with me on Zoom, and the other is a 15-minute recorded rapid-fire critique. Head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/mentorship, because over there you can see examples of both of those types of critiques, as well as reserve your spot for a one-on-one mentorship, because they are limited each month. So go ahead and pick one of those if you'd like, and I look forward to giving you some real deal feedback. Now, let's get back to the video. Oh, we're halfway through the images now. Kind of like that. I like the feel of this. See, the reason I'm going here is because I needed to get some frontal stuff. I needed to get some face here. Also, I kept this here in the right-hand side. I don't think that was by accident. I think that was by plan to make sure that you have the final product over there. Oh, if anybody's ever wondering why we have a sharp spin, that's because we pick up heroin needles on the street, and so that the kids don't play. There's a school across the street, but we pick up the heroin needles so that the kids don't play with them, of course. We have gloves, and we have a grabber, so I can reach down and grab it with the grabber and then put it right in the sharps container. Oh, I remember he was looking at me, so that's good. Very reminiscent of when Dave Grohl looked at me, but so I like this a lot better. Plus, Steven's not in the background. That's really cool. I know he's gonna look at me there. Yeah, there he looks at me. And I wasn't in super duper rapid fire, so it's just gonna be 2 or 3 shots. But I like the one without the super big eyes. I like his toe here. I like the toe, but I'll put that in there too. No, I don't like that one as much. Now I've got the 12 to 24 again. I just like the quality of it. I like the sharpness and the color and the tones. That's too bowy when you go close and vertical with this lens. You get super bowy and distorted. But I'm keeping it. A lot of the same thing. That's what happens when you switch into a little faster mode. But here, this is the seat. There I have Fuji, there I don't. It's just a lot of the same stuff over and over. So here I'm trying to get spray. There you can see it, but it wasn't really fully in focus. Trying to get details. I don't like the detail though. And here we go, we actually asked him to do this. Perfect. That's with the 135-1.8. So I'm gonna find a couple of these that work. Yes, that lens is one of the greatest lenses ever. Now, if you're shooting with lock-on tracking, this is the time probably to turn it off if there's no face for it to detect or eye. And then in this case, I'll just switch into the single, whatever spot it is, selective spot, and I'll go in there and I'll lock where I want to lock. It's not locked, but I will put the focus point where I want it and not have to worry about it locking onto something and moving if he's not moving. So it's almost like single focus, but it's still continuous focus. And then we'll go through at the end and pick the best, whichever one. I kind of want to show the whole can. Like, Jared, up, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. It's just better with the whole can, I think, but that's with him swooshing. Like I said, we'll go through the rest of this. This is where macro would be super cool if you came in and you got this close with that composition. What changed? Did I change my exposure again? Like I said, you'll see me like a bunch of the same images and then at the end go through and pick the best of the best with honors, sir. Tried to do it the 135, but not very good. I was waiting for him to pick up some stuff, so that's good. Meh. Well, that's his hand, so I'll pick that, but it's still not the best. Smooth valve control, so I got the paint. Got that one, not as good. This is just a boring shot. Again, it's backs and backs. So I like this. I waited here because I'm thinking I wanted this. Oh, I missed it on that one. So I like that with him walking here, but I kind of like it with him working in the background. Now I focused on him and not this. I'll pick it, but I'm not sure I like it. And then And then we got this. So that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for him to pick something up, but a lot of time it happens fast. So what do I do in this situation? I'm like, hold that. And usually if you just say hold that, they'll do it. I don't think that's a problem. I think that that helps me get those shots sometimes that I'll maybe never get unless I just interact and be like, all right, hold that. Because I'm laying there waiting for this particular thing and he's just moving in super fast. So I'm like, hold that, boom, done, got the shot, move on. But this is going to be one of those really good keepers. So let me go into develop real fast. Let me see if Skittles, I know Skittles works pretty well for some of this stuff as a starting point. We may have to block off the right-hand side and blur it out, but no. So like I said, these are always starting points. It looks very green, so I want to throw some magenta into it. These are just starting points. I don't think I want to do black and white. I could do black and white, but there's so much color in this. All right, let me just show you what I would do to this. For whatever reason, I do that. And then that. And everyone's like, you don't know how to edit. I'm like, I'm happy with the way that my stuff looks. So I'm gonna bring up the shadows and then I'm gonna bring down the highlights just a little bit. And if you're like, Jared, you're just moving sliders. Why yes. Why yes I am, because that's what you're doing is you're moving sliders looking for the image. That's where it started, that's where it's finishing as of right now. I love the feel of it. That's my personal edit without using Skittles. And that's like 2 seconds. I'll come back later and definitely spend more time. And I may do the black and white just to see what the black and white looks like. But more testing with the 40 millimeter. But I like that. I like the way that was. I like the stance. And you can see what he's doing. And then if I see a respirator come off, I'm like, finally, I can get some IAF going. Oh, I got 35-1-2 on it, 1-2. Then I tried to do some slow shutter stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm so awesome. I'm so creative. Nope, didn't work. Oh, I like this one actually. Steven's like, whatever. I'm like, but I kind of like it. He may like it. It's not, this one's not good, but that's the creative stuff you try and do. 35-1-2 just has a look. I love the 35. See, Sigma came out with the 35 f2 and Sony went with the 40. Love the lighting right here. Love the lighting. Just more of the back doesn't do it for me, doesn't do it for me. I love the 35. That Sigma 35 is great. Not like great shots though. Again, it's the back. I like that. His eyes are closed. Yeah, that's no good. Okay, finally, I went into the other room behind the curtain here. We're looking for the shot. The reason I don't like these, we don't have the can. I want the can. The problem is if I see the can, there's the can. Does it mean I'm gonna get shot with it? So that works. There's the can better. There's it even better. And that was it. There we got some front stuff that we can do, or more side. I just love it. I just love the way that the floor is laid out and all these colors are popping. Back to the 12 millimeter to get the progress shot. Oh, and Steven's trying to be creative back there. I see him in the middle. Keep in mind, a lot of this happened over 6 to 8 hours. So yes, it gets repetitive. You kind of do the same thing. But when he's standing back looking, I'm trying to get the front shot of something. Would black and white be good, Jared? Black and white's just a feel. People always ask, how do you decide when to go black and white and when not to? A lot of it's just a feel. Don't worry, I'll bring that back down. Yeah, this is gonna have that feel. That's how I crunch it. Before, after. I like the feel of that. This is just, that's preliminary. I'll go back and keep tweaking, but I love the lights. I love the light panels here, and that's the door open back there. The color isn't so necessary in this particular image because we don't really have much going on there. I should have moved over to the right a little bit and used this light behind his head, but I didn't, clearly. And my shutter speed's slow there. Oh, so now we got some pointing. That looks back focused again. It really does. It really looks like it's back focused on the wall. But that's like, if I go in further, then we'll probably see it. But like, if you printed it like this, nobody would ever know. But if you zoom in on the computer, you definitely, to me, it looks like it's showing that it's slightly back focused. I like that. I don't normally shoot that slow of a shutter speed, but I like that sharpness. Because I'm actually getting some eyes. $700, we got 300 more to go. I hope you're enjoying the music that Dan chose to edit this to. Maybe. Ah, okay. Love the color corner. That's definitely back focused again. You can see it. You can flat out see how sharp the background is. Any of these gonna be in focus? Like, I know that the respirator makes it harder, but you can clearly see that the back is super sharp, but you could see that he's still in focus. So it's like, it's kind of weird, but I'm not trying to make excuses. It looks like it's back focused on that one too. Kind of like this up top angle. So this is with them not there. So got that. We even got Steven's thing down here in the bottom corner. And then I'm like, Steven, move your thing. And so he did. Because they were out of the shot, so I wanted to make sure I got it when they were out of the shot. From the front and the side. Oh, that's a good shot, Jared. That's a good shot. There you go. See? It's like if I pick you pick the winners, it's probably back focused. It looks so much sharper in the background. I'm not kidding here though. You can see the difference. I mean, it's subtle. Now we're in at 200% on 50 megapixels. So again, printed out 17 by 22, you'd never, ever question this. But this is the composition, guys. I'm using the ladder, this whole ladder, as a natural frame to draw me through this end of the ladder to draw me into him. That's what I'm looking for. That's like the keeper shot. And then I'll decide between the rest of them. Oh, there we got it. We got the spray paint going. No, no. I missed it. And then here he's picking up paint again and using the ladder again as a natural frame. I do see what I would have done better. I would have moved over so I didn't have the opening here. What I mean by that is, let me show you. I'm not gonna crop it, but let me just show you to learn from. Maybe like that. That way it's like, draws you definitely into him. So that would be a better composition. That's really nitpicky, honestly. That's being nitpicky, but yeah. I just wanna show you what my thinking is. Oh, get out of the develop module. So this was where I wanted to I saw his sticker. I'm like, all right, I want to get his sticker. And then and he's in it. Now he's in the background. So I don't like it with the hat as much. I like it with him in the background. But that's not in focus, Jared. That's not in focus. That's in focus. I needed to be able to move over just a little bit. Now I'm running through those other lenses because these are test shots that would be good for the review. With the close focus and everything. Man, it's doing all that. It's the automatic lens correction. Jesus, Jared, like, wow. It's gotta be on in the camera somewhere. So now we got the 50-5. No, that's a terrible shot. Meh. Yes, yes. So this is a lot of yes for me. This is a lot of yes for me because it's like showing you behind the scenes of behind the scenes. It's showing you all of this. Like all their stuff, our photo hut sign, it's showing you the work being done. So I like this. And now I get to go around the corner slightly. Look, do I move over to the left in these upcoming pictures to compensate for that? No, it doesn't look like I do. But that's sharp. Back to that 12 to 24. You gotta jump on those opportunities to get any front shot that you can get in this case, because it's gonna help with the story. But here he's drawing those lines and I'm looking for eyes. So I got the eyes and I keep moving on. This I love because you got a hand here, he's stretching out the tape and the eyes, super sharp. I may do that one too because I like his positioning, that too. And there's the light coming over his shoulder. So I gave myself both of these options because I noticed that happening. It's gonna be hard to go to black and white with those because of the color. This is where they're doing a swoosh. Pretty amazing what they can do here too. And now he's doing the paint drip, drip. No. Focused? Yeah. Ooh, yeah, okay. It's gonna be a little distorted, but I'm okay with that. So he's looking for a different paint color. It would have been great if I had him reaching. It's amazing. Now what did I go to? 28 to 70. I forgot that I had the Sigma 28 to 70 upstairs, and I'm really happy with it. Again, another pretty solid lens from, well, another solid lens from Sigma. Look at the color rendition. I mean, God, that looks amazing right out of camera. That's a lot of this. Oh, that's a good angle. Jared, you should have, see, this is where I would have loved to have used a 28 to 70 f2 from Canon. But just look at the color. I mean, this is straight out of camera. This is no edits being done. This is nothing. That's really good. Just the color. Cut off his hands, not happy about it. Still a good sample image to show though. Jared, what are you doing? I actually don't hate that. I actually don't hate that, Jared. Maybe I should have used a 28 to 70 and then this is to get that test. Maybe I should, Jesus, I kind of like that angle. No. That I wanted with the Jared in there. And then I just wanted this. Let me just find one where the lines are straight. That one. I like it. That's a versatile lens. Oh, neat. Is this is what the 12 to 24. This is, we're getting to where I picked the final one. So he's done. Yeah, he's giving me that look. I like that. I still like this more candid. I may not. All right, they're painting that. So this was before we changed the lights. I edited this. Like, yeah, that's hot in terms of editing. Let me show you. That's the flat and that's the edited version. Love it. Like that's one of my, oh, okay. So what I wanted to show you here is this one, watch this. Look at his face in focus. Watch this. Yes, so watch, I know I keep saying watch this. Which one is 921? So this one is the better one. We're gonna zoom in here. We're going to 200%. You see the difference here? That's sharp right here on the left, and that's not as sharp on the right. That's because the right, it's back focused here. You can see how much sharper the wall is, whereas here you can see that it's actually nailing the face. And so that's why I'm going. Now you would never know the difference. Most people wouldn't. They wouldn't go in that far. But I questioned it when I saw it. I'm like, is it sharp enough? And I'm like, you know that's not sharp, Jared. But now you can see that's fully sharp. That's not. Now if you're like, Jared, why is there so much grain at 640? One, I crunched the shit out of this file. But two, that's 200% zoomed in. That's 100%. Or now that's just to fit. But this is the winner shot. Like that, I love this shot tremendously. I also printed this out on the Canon ProGraph Pro 1000. It's gonna be part of Fro 365 for 2021, which is back again. I just look at the colors of this. I mean, yeah, I already went through and edited this one because I wanted to get it to him. And what I love about the image is it's the entire thing that he did. One, it's actually focused. So you have everything. You have the concept that he had, that he came up with. The one thing I don't like is back here, you can see the hallway with some junk in it, but we did have some, he did have some plastic there with my name on it. Probably would have been better, but they were just starting to clean up. So that's no good just because of the look on the face. And I just don't like this angle as much. It's too low. The other one was much better. All right, and then this is testing out. We cleaned up. Steven's gonna be upset I showed you those. See, he smiles. I wanted to get some pictures of him in here with the 12mm ultra wide, kind of like that. Because I got close. Yeah, I kind of like that. Just, you can see the subtle angle changes that go on here. You're just looking for the best one. Now, vertical does not work at 12mm, Jared. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, it's not great. Because look at it, like pin cushions, it squishes everything. But whatever, I took it. Now I switched to the 35-1.2. I love this. This is the shot I went with. Look at that crispiness, man. Love it. I don't know why I was at 1.8. Some people said, Jared, don't you want to have the Kodak and everything in, don't you want everything in infinite focus? And the answer is no, I don't. I want him in focus, and personally, I think it's fine that you see the backdrop. It doesn't have to be super sharp. You know exactly what it is. The focus is him, and he's in front of the art. Oh, I didn't pick any of these yet, did I? I think I could go with that one for a vertical. Is this the 135? Yeah, that 135 is the greatest lens ever. It's up there with my 105-1.4 from Nikon, which I like. Love. This is just finding that angle. And good look, good look. I like that eye. So I went back to get the lights in there because it's kind of like an interview and he's in between. And I don't know that, I mean, these are the ones that you tend to do black and white too. Because they're super behind the scene. That may not work. It makes it a little dark, but. Oh, that looks good too, Jared. Oh God. I edited it in black and white and that looked good. So what I tend to do if that happens is I will, watch. I'm just gonna do a snapshot. We'll just call it color for now. That just saves that. It's a little too harsh. I will pull back a little bit on it, but I also kind of like that we can go black and white with it too and tweak it. I do like that too, and I could also do this and just be like black and white. BW. And the color. All right, we need to wrap this. Wow, different color change. Obviously, I love when it's edited. Let me jump back in here real quick and remind you about FroPack 3. It is new. There are 15 all-new custom Lightroom presets. They are built to help you speed up your raw workflow, give you unique looks, and give you a great starting point. You can head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/FroPack3 to check those out, play with those sliders, see the befores and the afters. If you want to pick them up right now, they are on sale, or you can save even more when you get the triple play bundle. Now, let's get back to the video. Now I switched over to the Nikon Z7 II. with the 50-1-2 just because I haven't fully reviewed that one yet. Keep in mind, this is at the end of the day. He's already finished. I've been working for like 7 hours straight. I like that. I like that. Oh, I like that. I like the eyes on that one. And then we have the ending. See, I didn't take this at the beginning by itself. So that's the wide that shows you everything. I went to at 2.8 on that. This one I went to F5 just so I could show you everything. The finished product. Oh, and I may still go downstairs and take some more to finish it up. And then this a little tighter. I like it a little higher like that, and then boom. So how many images is that? 211. All right, so we went from 1,000 to 211. Now, if I just showed you the 211, you'd be like, oh man, these aren't bad, right? And so then next, it's a matter of going through and picking the best of the best. You know, what tells the best story? We've got the wides, the mediums, the tights, and the details. And so I'm not going to go through and edit all of them for you. Yeah, you don't need to see me edit. You really don't need to see me edit for this one. I think the culling is more important. Editing is more personal. And so I'm gonna go through and edit. Then I'm gonna do it down to the red ones, the best of the best. So we went from 1,020 to 210. What are the best of the best to tell the story going to be? And then I'll come back and show you those. All right, so jump ahead a few days, and I procrastinated my editing of those 220 images, but I got through it and I edited it down to 68 of the best keepers, and I could actually take it further, but I want to show you the 68 keepers that I've broken it down to. So we went from 1,020 images to, I think it was like 220, and now I've got 68 that I think tell the best story. So we're gonna go through those right now, and then I'm gonna even show you culling it down even further. The story I'm trying to tell is from the beginning to the end. So we've got the space right here that doesn't have the painting yet. So what they're doing is figuring out what they want to do or how they want to tackle it. Then next, they're laying down the protected plastic for the flooring. That's important to the story. Then this is important or not important. I could take this one or leave it, but I think it's part of it. He gets down there, he's taping everything up. This one is probably better than the one before because it gives us gives us a chance to put a black and white in there. And then we just go through and we see the story of the day. They're taping up everything to get it ready. The details, we've got the different spray paint cans. We've got the design right here on the right-hand side that they're gonna try and paint. We've got the yellow paint for the primer right here. We've got other stickers on his stuff. We've got the paint pole. We've got the Gorilla Glue or the Gorilla Tape. And so I'm building the story here. And so we're getting the pieces, the wides, the mediums, the tights, and the details. And this is just the beginning of it. Another one, so I'd probably pick one or two. I'd probably pick this one for the book just because it has more detail in it. And this is just more of the spray cans. Same thing, I loved this shot. I thought of black and white, but I kind of still like the color. So, kind of because of the camouflage, it matches the room, and I like that. You could take this or leave this in the book, but it gives you obviously they're painting the primer. The primer color goes on, getting the projector out. This I love with the lights out downstairs, that you can still see all of this, the whole room with the setup and how they're doing it. So this is all part of the story. That's what they're projecting. So I'd pick one of these as the main one in the book. Oh, and again, I'll point these out. These are the lines of the projector, not lines from the camera. Same thing, just pumping through these 68 images, which, like I said, we could still edit down. But I wanted to get the details. I just love this, how the white is lit up, because that's where he just painted. I just like that one. The detail, so this is a super detailed shot of him painting. These are all right. These are more for that lens, that 40 millimeter test. This is something I could do without, and you'll see when I edit it down even further that it's not necessary. I like this shot, but is it necessary? Maybe not. And for whatever reason, I really like this shot all the way off to the side. I just like that one. Details. Lots of wides because the space is important to show the progress. That's what I was trying to do, is show the progress of the entire thing. And looking at me, I love it. The spray can, of course, that's super important, spraying out that yellow. Details, details, reaching for the can, reaching out. And then this was where I'm not really sure which one I like of these three better. I think I like the one, I like the kind of that I got the two eyes here. I only have sort of 1.5 there, but I have the can up higher. So I have to decide between one of these that I like. I wouldn't use all of them. I love the colors and the tones. So I love this without them in it so that we have all of the scene and we have like the mess, the chaos that goes on. We can see that, right? We can see the spray coming out. Yeah, we can see the spray coming out there. We can also see the spray coming out here, which is why I think I like this one better, is you can better see the spray coming out of the can. I love the framing of the ladder here, the detail, seeing the whole space. Some closer up shots where I finally get the face because he's spraying against the wall the whole time. Love the colors in these, just love the saturation. And then we get near the end, which is like the portrait style things. I love the chaos and I love the mess and I love the colors of this. I love everything about this shot. Yeah, well, actually, I don't love everything. I don't like this in the background. That's my fault. I probably should have had them leave up the plastic they had covering the door, which there was a picture of that somewhere. There, that plastic probably would have been better, but whatever, it works. Love that shot. Then clean it up. We get the clean shot. Love that. And then one of these two. I think I like this one better because of the way that the light is hitting the face. Oh my God. Oh, that's 200%. That's 200% zoomed in. That's 200% amazing. That's 100% zoomed in. Love the color. I love this because it's the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. And I love seeing the lights in it. And then finally, to finish the book, you have this final product. I went with the tighter shot at 18 instead of 12 because it just encompassed the entire frame and it shows you the final product and the final work. That's 68 images. I could take it even further, and I flagged 40 of them that if I really wanted to go down even further to distill it down, I could. But from 1,020 down to 200 and some, down to 68, down to 40 of the best story, it totally tells the whole story in those 40 images. The next thing I'm gonna do is put together a Adorama or a Printique photo book so that I can make one for my photo book wall, if you remember that, at my house, and then I'm gonna make one for Gloss Black so that he has one. I always create leave behinds. They're important. These photo stories are great to share, and the photo books leave a lasting impression. So it's a long video, but the whole point is to show you what happens when you go from the 1,020 images. You cull them down, how you pick the winners, and then the best of the best. If I was to just show you the best of the best pictures like I did here, the best 40 or the best 68, you wouldn't be like, oh wow, look at all those other shots, you took 1,000. It doesn't matter. I got the best story that I think I could have gotten, and I distilled it down to the best 68. I don't care if I took 1,000 pictures, because a lot of them are like, you're trying to find the angle. You can't just pick and choose, and really you don't need to just pick and choose and be like, well, I only have 36 shots, I'm not gonna go too far, because in this case, you can go as far as you want. Just don't sit there and take 30 frames a second in a situation like this. Take a burst here and a burst there, get those shots, and then pick the moments that make the biggest impression. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. As always, hashtag I got this far. If you got this far in the video, I'd appreciate hearing that. Thumbs it up if you want to see more of these. I mean, I'll keep doing them whether you thumbs it up or not, because I think that they're highly informative. And please support the presets or whatever, Adorama Pix or Printique. We appreciate all that. So I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.